Good afternoon, everybody. This is Thor Young with Bear Bull Traders, and I'd like to do a recap on my GMS trade for you today. GMS was in our watch list today and was gapping off of some news that it had had regarding a share offering that was coming up. So it had gapped down a little bit here in the pre-market. Carlos and Norm kind of went through this pretty well in our pre-market show, which I'd really suggest, if you haven't already, make sure you hit the like button and then hit the little bell to subscribe. That way you get notified when that pre-market show shows up, because let me tell you, these trades that I'm taking every day, I'm taking them off of the analytics that these guys are giving in the morning. Without this analytics, without knowing what stocks to watch, I'm not getting the moves that I would be getting otherwise. So really encourage you guys to go ahead and do it so you can grab moves like this one on GMS. So GMS here, you had that big gap on that share offering, and it had kind of been moving down all day. It was around 11 o'clock. I was looking for one more trade. I was actually having a really solid day today. I traded MU with Andrew. Check out his recap. I got a real nice pop off of that one. And then came over here and started looking at GMS. So what basically, if you look at the 5 minute and the 1 minute, GMS had a nice steady downtrend for the entire day. It was just holding these averages. Nothing really to think that GMS was going to make a reversal. There was no big orders on the montage to the top side. No big orders to the downside either. It was just, but it looked like it was just going to be a steady decline. So I was really just looking for an opportunity to get into it. And then GMS kind of made its move. And basically this is what I'm looking for here. Let me get my pen out. So if you notice here on GMS, we had a sell-off to right here, okay, on this candle. All right, that big volume candle that sells off should kind of gain your attention that something is going on with this stock. So what happened, if you look up here on the 1 minute, is it sold off and it got to this level here at 26.32, and I've got it marked here with this blue line. And I marked that just because after high volume, it bounced off that level. So that's naturally going to be some sort of price level, whether that was a prop buying or a big sell order that, made it move the other direction. I mean, it could be anything, but it's a clue something's going on at this level because it was an obvious bounce, right? So now it bounced up and it came right back up to these averages it's been holding. Look at the 9 on the 5. Look at my 20 on the 1. And it came right back into them and started holding them. So I look at this as we now have a descending triangle going on the long term. On the 5 minute, all right, this descending triangle is going to go off of the low right there. And it's going to pull up something like that. So, but we need a better entry than just judging that. Now, I certainly could have taken the break of this 5 minute triangle. And as you can see here, I got great partials. So I could have certainly taken the break of that 5, but I want to get a little bit better of an entry. So if you look up here on my 1 minute, when it came back up and it made a high here and then it came back down and it tested this 26.47 level, came back up, came back down, couldn't quite make it back to there, and then it just started kind of descending back all the way down to this. So I was really looking at this 26.47 level. Right here, when I took my entry, it touched that 26.47 level, so I went ahead and took an entry. Normally I wait for a third touch, which if I had would have been perfectly fine, because you can see here I got a third touch. That was my confirmation. I knew I was well into this one at that point. So my price level on this one now is a descending triangle right there. So my entry is 26.48. My stop out's going to be 10 cents above. So which would have been a break in my pattern. So all of that looked pretty good. And that was just holding on for just a minute. And as you can see, less than 5 minutes of holding. And I got a nice breakdown here. I went ahead and took a partial at 26.32. That gave me, got me down to this bottom level just in case it decided to jump off of there. I took another partial at 26.30. And I actually took that one because it was a P&L play that actually put me up nicely on my P&L to a certain area I wanted to make sure I got to. So even if it went against me, I was going to end up well positive on the day with that move. And then I just started doing 10% dumps I'd say about every 10 cents or so. And I was doing 10% dumps all the way down to my final 10% cent drop, which was at just the break of $25. So I now have 10% left in that I'm letting run. I'm going to get out if it gets back above this high here. You have this 25.45. So if it happens to turn against me, come back up and manage to test and break that 25.46, I'll stop out the rest of my 10%, which, as you can tell, I mean, that's still going to be, you know, a dollar move on those last 100 shares once I stop out there. So not bad. If it goes in my favor, I actually have an order sitting down at $24, which if you look over here on the daily, is basically just above the bottom of this. You can see kind of like a price level that formed. We've got the top of this one, and we've got the open of this daily candle here on the 29th. So I threw that there to see if maybe we get all the way down there. It looks like we might be bouncing off the 20 on the daily though, but we'll see if we can get through it and get the rest of this order in. So anyway, I hope everybody enjoyed my recap. I hope you're all having a great day, and please keep it green.